shoot him.
The last race of the season at Watkins Glen in the USA. It would be Stewart's 100th Grand Prix. Then he would announce his retirement, bow out in triumph, and allow Francois Sever to take over his mantle.
Ken had gone as far as to say to me, and it was almost all too well scripted, that, you know, you should do. Francois has been second to you 3 times this year. You should let him win tomorrow if you're in the lead. And I said, Ken, you're asking a lot. It's my last Grand Prix. I mean, it would be wonderful to win my last Grand Prix. And I'll never forget Ken saying, yes, but you'll be an even bigger man if you were to pull over and let the man who's going to take your place win that Grand Prix, because this is your last. So I mean, that was a big thing for us to discuss, and one that was likely to occur. Francois went out to test in the morning of the Saturday and crashed horribly on the first fast section after the start and finish. And the car was totally destroyed. I mean, the car turned upside down on top of an Armco barrier and was broken in 2, and there was pieces all over the road because it was a 150 mile an hour accident, so wheels and suspensions and engines and transmissions and bodywork. And I had to jump over a barrier to go to where the majority of the car was, and Francois was still in the car, and he was clearly dead.
Who is it? Oh no. How bad is it?
In the background, Stewart, distraught.
Sever. Bloody hell.
Because of the incident on the circuit, practice for today for Formula One cars is now concluded.
They're laying on some hot drink in the Texaco caravan, Emerson.
Repeating the practice for today.
I'm going to grab a sheet.
Ladies and gentlemen, remain standing please for the playing of the national anthem of France. Remembering Francois Sever.
Short of taking my children or my wife or my immediate family, I couldn't have had any more hurt than I got from when Francois died, because he was such a nice person and such a close friend. And to do that, to see that happen and know I'm going to retire at the end of that race the next day, we felt that in respect to Francois we should not drive that 100th Grand Prix. The team as a whole should not race. There was a tremendous speculation that week leading up to my retirement, the following Sunday, and Francois' funeral was in the middle of that, and a lot of speculation whether I retire or wouldn't I retire, and I mean, of course the decision had been made up. Everyone said it was because of Francois' death that I retired, but in fact it wasn't.
I think the major reason is that I've retired for my family, for the children and for Helen, because I think that I've been a racing driver long enough. I've enjoyed it enormously, but I think it is my responsibility to retire for their sake, for their future, and for the happiness of the family. I desperately want to be happy in a family, and this, I think, is maybe the only way I could positively be sure of that.
I was only 34 years of age, and I was retiring from something that was giving me wealth and material benefits, positions, social connections, industry opportunities. I mean, I was never going to have to work for the rest of my life if I didn't want to. So it was mixed emotions. It was a sweet and sour end to a terrific period of my life.
And he didn't want to tell me because he thought that, 6 months to go, or so many races to go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He didn't think it's a good idea to put that burden on my shoulders, just hoping you get there at the end. He preferred that I didn't know. Paul was 6 or 7 at the time, and he went to school where the other racing drivers' children went to, and a lot of them had been killed. I think there was about 3 of them had been killed. And one night Paul said to me, "Mummy, when is Daddy going to die?" "Well, we're all going to die one day, but why do you ask?" And he said, "Well, all the children at school say that it's my daddy's turn next to die." So I said, "Well, of course it's a dangerous life." I said, "But it's not necessarily the case." And I'm sure that's one of the reasons Jackie gave up.
Jackie Stewart.
Obviously, to arrive in such style.
There's so many things to look forward to, meeting new people and having to succeed, really. If I go to a meeting to do a presentation representing either Jackie Stewart or the company I'm associated with, I feel as if I've got to do it to the very, very best of my ability.
Now, Walter Guard have a lot of great attributes. For many, many reasons, I think this is important at this time. For one thing, it's tremendously convenient for the railway.
Oh, there isn't enough time in my life to do everything that I see that I want to do. There's a whole lot of things that I'm sure that I don't see that I want to do. I think, however, the fulfillment that I have is so intense that the personal high that I get from all of the things that I do are so gratifying that I'm just grateful I've been able to achieve this sort of pleasure from living that I now have, because it's not a material thing anymore. It's very much a thing that is part of me. It's not a thing that the money has been able to buy. Of course, it somehow allowed me to do it, but I think I've outgrown that part of it. I've outgrown the fact of having to have enough money. That is not nearly important to me now as it is now just enjoying it. Now I want to cut back my work because I want to have more time with the children, more time with Helen, more time here at home. I mean, I sort of do tremendously breakneck journeys just to get home. Oh, right. Mark. 1, 2, 3, go!
Not going to go in.
Mark, you have to fight back.
So I'll be the day of the 26th in Aberdeen. The night of the 26th I must be in London because on the 27th I fly back to the States.
Ed's wedding's on the Saturday.
Ed's wedding's on the Saturday, and the same night, Saturday night, I'm going to fly back to London. On retirement, I felt confident that I was going to be a much more relaxed person because I wasn't going to be asked to do so much. And I thought that I would be giving more time to the family, to doing the things that most people want to do in normal life. But in fact, what has occurred in my life is that the pace of my life has accelerated rather than decelerated. Opportunities kept arriving that I was so intoxicated by, not just for money, I mean just challenges that were so exciting. New dimensions to my life, my world, my skills could be exercised in different ways.
Just a sec, I've got the other phone here now.
And today I find myself actually much busier than I've ever been in my entire life. I handle it better today. I'm able to do more. I can compartmentalize my life more efficiently. I can achieve more. I'm more efficient to start with. But unfortunately, I haven't grown up. When I drove racing cars, the racing cars that I drove were simply the best.
Jackie Stewart, consultant to the Ford Motor Company.
If I can take that car to the